Welcome to the Unclehack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Ooh, baby, do you know what it's worth? Sucking dick is all my worth. A big fat one with extra girth. Ooh, baby, I hope it bursts. Yeah, that's how we're starting the show today. Gay, 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 gay. Demonetized right out of the gate. That's how we do things. Just to ensure that I am at your beckoning. And with that, with me staying at your beckoning, let's first off start. July 7th and 8th, only things on the books right now. We're working on putting a few shows together with a special little somebody. And it should be fun. All right, I'll knock that off. July 7th and 8th, we are in Edmonton with special guests. Jason Rouse and Uncle Laser. I don't know if any of you watch Kill Tony, but he's been on there. TikTok, Instagram kind of guy. Texas fella. And then July 9th, we're in Calgary during Stampede. So if you're bored, coked out, depressed, need laughter, or all your dopamine levels have been depleted from the Molly that you've taken, going and watching DJs, the talent of a DJ. You went and watched that, right? While you were down in Calgary, Alberta, checking out the sweet, sweet sights of city folk cosplaying as country. Fucking, I don't know, cowboys? Whatever. Who cares? We're riffing. We're having fun. This is the riff. So that's right, July 7th and 8th with Jason Rouse and Uncle Laser, also with July 9th at Yuck Yucks in Calgary. Tickets for the Edmonton show, dangercatshop.com. Tickets for the Calgary show at Yuck Yucks website in Calgary. I think it's the Elbow River Casino. No, it's not the Elbow River. Whatever one Sam Walker's band from, that's the one we're going to be at. And it's time to grift. You know I love grifting. Right? Everybody knows that Hack loves to fucking grift. I am the grift god. So a while back we did this, and then we'll get into the show. A while back, if you're watching this on YouTube, what we got here behind me is a photo of a cooler that's motorized with wheels and all that shit. I think it's a 49cc motor on a cooler with Link's little steering wheel and everything. So a while ago, we had a contest, and I thought the contest regulations here in Alberta were to hold on to this. I've been trying to get a hold of this guy now for quite some time, and all he left in his contact information was his email, and I don't know if he checks his email, but I have been harassing him about this, and it's just been sitting, and finally I fucking looked up, and apparently you have 1 year to claim a prize, and this person did not claim his prize. So guess what we're doing? We're doing another contest. Those who entered at the time, I believe it was like purchasing merch, you're already in. So you know what? Fuck it. Let's have fun with it. Become a Patreon subscriber. It's cheaper than anything on the site, and you will be entered into this. So it's $6.69 can be an entry in to win this. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/dangercat69, all because some asshole, I believe he was in like New Mexico or Texas, registered with just his fucking, but I can direct message on Patreon. So if you do win, I can get a hold of you. I know I can get a hold of you. And if you don't check your Patreon messages, then you're an idiot. I'll do the same thing. I'll harass whatever individual wins this unless you don't pick it up in a year. So apparently it's a year, not a year and a half. I don't know. I finally looked up today and was like, what are the stipulations on this? Am I going to be prosecuted if I do another and apparently not. So what we're gonna do, Patreon subs, those are already subbed to the Patreon, you're already in, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna be an asshole about this. I am just trying to grift. raise a little funds here as I go into a process of possibly going into America. That's I got to leave it at that. And yeah. So anyways, I'm grifting. I am a grifter now. That's what I'm doing. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. Become a Patreon sub. I'll tell you what, if you're, what we'll do is if you just subscribe to the piss tanks, whatever one, piss willies, whatever. If you become a danger dong, let's put it that way, a danger dong 4 entries. That's it. Those are the stipulations. Anyways, let's get on with the show. Patreon.com/DangerCat69 for an entry in for the cooler. There, I called it the Piss Willie 3000. I believe. Yeah, anyways, we'll do some content with that thing. And now, getting into the show. What's been happening in my life? I've been just like chilling. I've been chilling. I had a good weekend. Danger Room, electric, on fire, you know? It kind of blew my mind. This was probably our best one yet. We've been away from it for a while. We had a good time. Sam Walker, myself, a couple guest pop-ins. There was a new guy, Charbel was his name. I can't remember his last name, so I apologize. Chris LaBelle and Adam Ruby all on the show. The boys were hot. The boys were back in town. Sold out. The Comedy Cave once again. These shows, I'm telling you, I'm not holding tickets anymore. I get some guys, hey, brother, can you get me in? No, I'm not doing this. I'm big time now. I just sold out a fucking comedy show with 110 people. Do you know who the fuck I am? I start developing an ego very quickly. Once I start realizing, these things, that our shows are hotter than chlamydia piss right now, baby. You got to get in where you fit in. You got to get the tickets before you shit the bed. I don't know. Fuck it. I had nothing lined up to rhyme with that. But anyways, that's great. It feels good to be back in Alberta. First show back with the fellas. Everything was smooth. Brand new material was hitting. So things are looking bright for the future. And we'll see what else is coming up. We're going to be launching some new dates here right away. Just taking a little time to collect ourselves after the big Ontario run. Had a good time out there. I hope we already covered that. Hack. Move the fuck along. And you know what I've been consuming a lot lately is these red pill guys. I like this red pill entertainment. And I know, like, if you're going on the Matrix terms, it's like when you get red pilled, you start realizing that we're all just kind of living in a game. It's all controlled. Everything that you do, you think you have freedom. You got the false illusion of freedom, and it's certainly not the case, right? So when you're red pilled, it like opens you up, and you start understanding like this is just some fucked up game that we're put in, and maybe we weren't designed to be like this. But then there's like this new wave of red pill. Okay. It's been like overtaken by these Andrew Tate imitations. And it's hilarious because it's never a guy that, it's not these guys that you look at and be like, yeah, it's self-proclaimed alpha males that are just yelling absurd things into their iPhone 6. They're at like their job plumbing and they're like, you got to wake up at 6 a.m. and get in the shit. And it's like, I don't want to get in the shit. You're a plumber. That's your job. That's the fucking task you took on. You know what? What color is your Chevy Silverado? 06 Chevy Silverado. What color is it? Is it stock white? Is it stock white? You got metal militia rims. And they're just screaming into these phones and then selling you like self-help courses. The one I seen was like this pudgy fuck. Just this tiny, like, he was built like Danny DeVito and tried posturing and sitting like, yes. Like, you know when you get the fingers that are separated, but they're together? You're touching fingertips, looking upon and like gazing upon as if you're consuming knowledge all the time. Like how you would picture, or how Hollywood depicts like a CEO in movies, how they sit at the end of the table just nodding, listening to somebody who they think is inferior talk to them. I was watching this guy and he was in debates and just like total fucking idiot. Total idiot. These guys amaze me that they're able to convince people to buy their self-help bullshit, right? And I had to do a deep dive on this guy, so I started watching some of his content on YouTube, and it is amazing. I try to imagine who is sitting there and being like, this guy, he's my guy. He is going to get me over this hump of depression. And if he is doing that, great. That's lovely. But he's also charging people like $220 for a 20-minute session on him to teach you about money, wealth, and muscles. This guy doesn't have muscles. Like the only muscle that he fucking could really get, a little blood to, is his hog after watching fucking Andrew Tate highlight clips of owning feminists, Like that's where these are the dudes that are like just regurgitating the information that they learned on Hustlers University. Listen, you want to learn about money? Okay. Sign up today and I will teach you about marketing. Have you heard of marketing before? The thing that Bud Light isn't very good at? Well, I just so happen to be an Amazon associate that's making $400 trillion a year. And I'm going to show you how to get muscles, okay? And it's like, he's got videos of him on his Instagram, like trying to hit the bag, and it's the most sloppy technique you'll ever see. It's just like, to me, it's like when open micers now, and I'm talking like I'm a vet of the game. Like it's like when somebody records their first set and starts clipping it up and think that they're gonna get to like an Andrew Schultz level right away. I'm aware enough to know that would not be smart. Is to take my first, 10 times taking the stage and thinking that I'm crushing and clipping it up, putting it on the internet and be like, check this out, murderer, absolute slay dog of comedy. There's a few moments that I'll throw out there, but as far as material wise, Christ, I'm not riding on a lot. So I got to save that for the shows, baby. You got to come down to the shows like July 7th, 8th, and 9th. But that's like the similarity. I guess like the crossover where I could sit and be like, yeah, okay, this right here, it's similar. It's like watching an open micer just like fucking put out their horrible premises with no punches and then being like, look at that. Take a look at that. This guy's like throwing a right hand and not extending on it. And then the comment section is what gets me. King, a crown emoji, king behavior. Like, my God. This is like the new cringe. What was you used to just be like, oh God, that is awful to watch. Oh my Lord. That's the male version of feminists screaming in the streets with their tits out. But I can mute that clip and get something out of it. I can't get anything out of, a pudgy bastard. I guess the tits are still out, right? Because you got to go shirtless if you want to teach dudes about getting muscle. So I guess I mute both of them and I'm seeing titties. I just got to like cover the face of a bearded man and then the hairy armpits of a woman. So it's like, I guess the crossover is there if you watch the clips muted. Here I stand correcting myself once again on this show. My God, do I need a co-host? Somebody the other day was like, yeah, it's better when you got some people on the pod and you're interviewing with them. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't really enjoy just sitting here listening to the, So, and secondly, stop trying to invite yourself on this podcast. I find it funny, like some character. I just seen this message and I ignored it. Listen, I'm running for an MLA position. Right out of the gate. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in talking to you about what you're not going to do when you don't get elected. I appreciate you thinking that this platform is going to, secure many votes in your jurisdiction, but I hate to inform you that we're not clocking in Joe Rogan views, okay? And an hour of my time of not even, it'd probably be about 2 hours of my time because, you got to set up, you got to get the gear, you got to get to the location. Is this person going to be on? There's too many factors prior to you even sitting in front of the microphone that I gotta weigh in on, all for you to come in here and annoy me, you know. Would it make for good content? Probably. But it's all the steps leading up to making the content that I just look at and I'm like, fuck. You know, it's not as easy as just showing up and being like, hey, flip the mics on. Instead, you know, I gotta, hey, you should have me on your show so I can tell everybody what they need to hear. The fuck out of here. You know, I know that's rude. Okay, I know it's incredibly ignorant, but I'm pretty tapped out with politicians and people who think that they're gonna be one. That's how I'm feeling these days. You know, like it's just such a dumb job. I don't look at it now with like any sort of respect behind it. I don't look at a political party anymore and be like, yep, there's the one. That's my guy. I found him. He's here to save me. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait for him to get on a podium and save my life. 'Cause it's my life. It's now or never. Anyways, Red Pill guys. Hilarious. And I found this guy's wonderful TikTok that we're gonna take a little gander at. This is prime stuff right here. This is exactly why I don't miss the oil patch, okay? Because it's these guys that are floating around, and these guys are the ones that graduate from Hustlers University because, you know, like, the patch is great. The dudes are fucking awesome, but then you get the bag licks that just, like, you know, they think that the $37.50 an hour that they're making is like, listen, brother, I am heading down to the Lamborghini outlet and I'm going to tell them I want a pink one because I can. You know, every fucking idiot. Uncle, I got asked a while ago, Uncle Heck, do you miss the patch? And I was like, you know what? I miss the characters. I miss the I hate the arrogant dickheads that think that they're above everybody because of the wage that they make. And I get it. Like, hard labor can, like, corrode your brain. You know, when you rely on your body to make your money, it starts to erode any thought that could be any common sense is eroded. You know, every time that you lift something heavy and you're like, oh God, I hate this. You know, it's like you lift and you get that grunt, and you know how you feel lightheaded sometimes because you're like holding your breath instead of breathing through it. And then that right there, that moment right there, that probably kills a few brain cells every time you do that. And then eventually you're just left with this. You head to TikTok to do red pill male motivation videos on a lease site. You know, I'm thankful that I didn't go down that road. The content that I made in the beginning, yes, okay, I look back, I can't watch it. It's cringy. I didn't know what I was really doing. I was trying to figure it out. I thought it was funny. I go back and some dudes, and it was all humor, you know, oil patch humor. But this, like, I don't know how to describe it in a few words, but this behavior of like when you think of a fucking roughneck, right? When you think of a roughneck, and then that roughneck starts to consume this modern era red pill content, and then starts to regurgitate it on TikTok, it's just like, come on, man, just go pump the oil. We don't need this, do we? But that's where I have to retract a little bit, and I got to be like, we do need this, or else I have nothing to talk about. So we need fucking lunatics like this gentleman right here. I'll play the clip.
When a coach from a major sporting franchise starts racking up losses and underperforming, what happens? He gets cut. If you underperform at your job daily and start costing your company money, what happens? You get cut. Same goes for relationships. Your significant other, your wife, starts underperforming, stops taking care of herself and lets herself go, she needs to get cut. She starts becoming a liability instead of a fucking asset, spending money instead of making money, she needs to get cut. Sick and tired of you guys talking about oh, I'm so unhappy with my wife or my relationship, fucking cut her. It's simple. It's cut and dry. It's so fucking easy. Get rid of her. I want you pulling up at a red light with some tattooed chick beside you with big fake tits, looking over at the car beside you and seeing your wildebeest of an ex-wife miserable. It's time to level up. Let's go.
When you pull up, here we go. Buckle up, it's time to get motivated, boys. I know you're out in the fucking goddamn pickup truck on a lease site. And right now, your fat wife, what is she doing at home? She eating hot Cheetos. You need to go back in there, take a shovel, beam her upside the head. Make sure she's unconscious, drag her outside, fuck her in front of the whole neighborhood and be like, this is the last time I'm ever gonna be inside this pussy. Do you understand me, you sons of bitches? Do you see what I'm doing out here? I'm pumping dragons from the ground. I'm pumping dragons from the ground, and I don't want to go home and pump a dragon. Do you know what I mean? That's why I want to see you boys with big, tattooed, fake-titted, fucking deadbeats with fake nails. Exactly what I'm doing, so I can be validated by the rest of you because you're following in my footsteps. Do you understand what it takes to be me? Do you understand? I had to buy those fake titties, and I'll cut them the fuck out. You sons of bitches don't understand. God. He's got a fucking grenade tattooed on his hand, man. These guys fucking kill me. These guys kill me. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to describe this to those listening in the car because we love making fun of fucking people, okay? People are insane these days. The internet, which we'll get into later, the next article of like, this is what social media is doing is like, we've allowed lunatics to have a voice, i.e. me, right? And it's not like it's a big voice on the internet. I get that. We got a niche audience around here. But these guys hop on TikTok, you know? He's got tribal around his face. Fucking neck tattoo, bud. Fuck. He's got the Fort McMurray starter kit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got the Grand Prairie fucking pro kit right here. We got the fucking Super Duty in the background just to let all the fucking fags know that I roll coal. You think I'm gonna drive an EV? Get the fuck out of here. What's next? I'll drive an EV, then I'll have a DICK in my ASS. You understand me? Couple face tattoos, and I got a TikTok account. Now I'm yelling into the camera on the lease site while the fucking consultant's sending in reports. Trying to motivate the boys, but I got a grenade tattoo on my hand because if I throw a fucking bomb, Putin's gonna say, where did you get that nuclear weapon? Where did you get that nuclear weapon? If I unload this bomb, you best believe the Ukraine's gonna be calling me up and be like, get the fuck over here. NATO, take the back seat. Old grenade hand is coming over and I'm about to decimate the Wagner group. Level up, Cole. What a handle. Level up, Cole. He's got his own sticker on his hard hat. I used to do that too, so you can make fun of me on that one. Old Danger Cats, heavy metal, heavy women, heavy drinking. My motto is way better than that. Level up. I'm trying to level you down. I'm trying to tell you to fuck fat chicks, listen to Iron Maiden, get hammered on the weekends. That sounds like way more fun than what this guy. Hey, go home and cut your wife. Commit a crime. Commit arson. Burn your house down while she's inside and get an insurance claim and then move into the suburbs because of inflation taking over. You can finally afford a down payment. And then you can take some hooker. You can go down to the local whorehouse. It's some big fat titty tattooed goth chick that's been sitting on her ass thinking that she's going to be a streamer. You know? She's got an OnlyFans making $200,000 a fucking month, and you gotta live off that. Right after you get your graduation papers from Hustlers University, I'm an Andrew Tate fucking graduatee. I was the valedictorian. I put the dick in valedictorian at Hustlers University. You understand me? 69 GPA. Making 420 grand a year. Level up, Cole.
When a coach from a major sporting franchise starts racking up losses and underperforming, what happens?
When a rig hand isn't busting 0.6 of a gram lines while he's at the peeler bar, what happens? Cut. Out of here. Gone. Smell you later. When you're a consultant, when you're motorman, when you're mudman isn't knocking up a new girl in different area codes, what does he do? What do you tell him to do? Get the fuck out. If you don't have 13 child support payments, guess what we do? Cut. I cut you.
Gets cut. If you underperform at your job daily and start costing your company money, what happens? You get cut.
When you're on a lease site making TikToks about trying to level up even though you've been in the same position at the same job for 13 years, want to know what happens? Well, they kind of keep you around, but they allow you to make TikToks because you're the only one retarded enough to stay in this position for this long without taking any sort of promotion. But you get cut. That's what happens. You get cut. When your consultant comes out of the doghouse, he looks at you and you're screaming into your cell phone in front of his Super Duty because you drive a 96 Pontiac G6. I don't think they had them back then, but you get what I'm saying. A 96 Pontiac Grand Am that has the spare tire on. You get cut. You get cut.
Same goes for relationships. Your significant other, your wife, starts underperforming, stops taking care of herself, and lets herself go. She needs to get cut.
He does the throat slit. She needs to get cut. You need to drag her out to the woods. And in your head, you got to fucking think of yourself like, I got to go Dahmer on this bitch. I got to drag her out to the woods. And I need to slice her wide open. I'm the John Wayne Gacy. I dress up in a clown suit every day. I put on this hard hat. And you want to know what this... And then guess what? The fucking hat ain't the only thing hard. Because I get off yelling into this fucking phone, putting like Marilyn Manson's fucking, remix, reverbed and slowed down. And giving you a motivational speech so that way you can get jacked up. I got to go back to making some motivational content. This seems to be the answer. That's the move. That's the move. Level Up Cole just made me realize that I got to get into the red pill game. So guess what? Step aside, Level Up Cole. You're about to level down. This is a game of snakes and ladders, and Daddy just fucking hit a ladder to the 4th level. It'd be great. I got to get some face tats. I'm going to get, instead of a grenade tattooed on my hand, I'm going to get a jihadist holding the rocket launcher. That's what I'm going to get. What do you want? The jihad? I'll erase you from history. Do you understand me? I will erase you from history and I will oppress you like all the women in Afghanistan right now. You want the oppressive? You want the old oppressive right? Just a jihadist holding the rocket launcher on my right hand. Next thing, this thing hits you, all of a sudden the U.S. military pulls out. And one thing about me and the difference between me and the U.S. military, you guessed it, don't pull out. All the way in. That's what'll happen. I'm going to tattoo a jihadist holding the rocket launcher on my right hand so I can be like Level Up Cole over here. And if you see me coming, and when I say coming, I don't mean like walking towards you. I mean like busting. When I'm busting, you get the fuck out of the way. Because that's not the only thing that fucking explodes is this hand. In fact, this hand makes my little rocket launcher explode. The pocket launcher.
Start becoming a liability instead of a fucking asset. Spending money instead of making money. She needs to get cut. Sick and tired of you guys talking about, oh, I'm so unhappy with my wife or my relationship. Fucking cut her. It's simple.
Wait a
Cut and
minute.
dry.
He's on a service rig? This is exactly who works on service rigs. Holy shit. This all makes sense now. I don't know if any of you really know much about the oil patch, but it's like I was a pipeliner, right? And then I got a job offer to go fucking circus rigging for a while there. And like, these guys are goons. They do work hard. I will give them that. Anybody on a circus rig, I will fucking tell you what, you guys work hard, but there are some fucking goons. This is the level of intelligence and the IQ that you need to go and get a job with them, okay? You can walk on site fresh out of high school and they're like, listen, you fucking, where's the face tat? And you got to go down to your local tattoo parlor. Like, if you look like you've been convicted at least 3 times before the age of 22, they're like, you found it. You found home. You know? They're like, you had to walk to site, and they're like, fucking, and it's 80 miles outside of the nearest town. You just walked up and be like, can I get a job? They're like, how did you get here? I walked. Why? DUI. 3 of them. How old are you? 24. Whoa. You're overqualified. You want to run this thing? You are overqualified. Jesus, do you got a high school diploma? Like a physical copy of it? They're like, did you go to high school? Couple weeks. What grade? 10. Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Why aren't you down on Wall Street in a high tower? What the fuck are you doing out here? You're too smart to be out here. But yes, we will offer you a job. Guess what? You're starting at $37.50 an hour. Do you have a fat wife? Like, well, I never got married, but I do have 2 kids with separate women. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Pump the brakes. You paying child support? Currently not at the moment. That's why I'm here. They're like, oh, baby, baby, baby. What do you think of Biden? Let's go, Brandon. They're like, yeah, get the fuck in here. He's one, boys.
So fucking easy. Get rid of her. I want you pulling up at a red light with some tattooed chick beside you with big fake tits. Look.
I want you pulling up to a red light with some fucking this tattooed chick with big fake tits. The level of success. This is like, this guy fucking, dude, I couldn't even write this if I tried. The fucking ring hand level of success. Listen, brother, if you don't fucking pull up to a red light with a chick that's full of tattoos and big fake tits, you know, it's like, this whole self-improvement thing's out the window. We're actually very materialistic, and we've never once looked at women as objects. We look at them as fuck toys, okay? Well, wouldn't that be objectifying women? What are you talking about? No, it's a fuck toy, okay? And I leased it. Because that's nothing listen, there's nothing that a fucking, when you're undereducated and overpaid, there's nothing that you fucking think is more correct than leasing shit. You know? I put a down payment on a house, a trailer, a jet ski, even though there's no water around me for at least 350 miles. I work 370 out of the 352 days out of the year. I got a dirt bike, 2 of them. I got a mini bike. I got a Harley, a crotch rocket, all leased, okay? And if you think that I'm not going to lease a tattooed chick with big fake tits and tattoos, you're out of your mind. It's a fuck toy. Pulling up to a red light with a big fucking face. Jesus Christ. The level of success. Listen, if you don't have Samoan tattoos, even though you're Caucasian, working out in the middle of the fucking Texas desert,
over at the car beside you and seeing your wildebeest of an ex-wife miserable.
saying you're wildebeest of an ex-wife, miserable. Just pure spite is the sign of success. I can back that. I can get behind that one. That's kind of fun for me to get behind, you know. The level of success is you in your Super Duty, company-owned Super Duty, and your fat wife pulling up to your fat ex-wife pulling up to a red light, miserable, looking at you having the time of your life with some girl gonking on your fucking hug in the middle of a fucking... It's noon out and you're outside of a fucking school zone, and now you're going to get pulled over, and because you're getting sucked off, even though she's legal, but you are around an elementary school, you are going to be convicted as a sex offender, okay? And will that be difficult in the future? Yes, it's going to make your life a living hell. You're going to have to fucking ride out the rest of your days on this rig to make sure everything goes well. Brother. Get the fuck out of here.
It's time to level up. Let's go.
It's time to level up. Let's go. We're going to watch one more of this guy. We're just going to pick a random one that I haven't pre-watched. And we're just going to see like what, okay, this one's got 250,000 views. Holy shit. Level up Cole. He's only following 2 people. Can we see who they are? Oh, shit.
I was just at the gas station. I had some dude, some low-level, underperforming fuck come up to my window and beg for money. He said, I got a family, I need some money, blah, blah, blah. Gave me this fucking bullshit-ass story. I said, I'm not going to give you money, but I can point you in the right direction of a job. He said, oh, what kind of job? I said, in the oil field. You're in fucking West Texas, for fuck's sakes. There's no reason not to be working. He said, oh, no, that's too hard of a job. You are a fucking coward. I wanted to slap him across the fucking face so bad. I hope your family leaves you. I hope I see you in a week and you're fucking starving, inches away from dying due to starvation and lack of water. I have no sympathy and no mercy for these fucks that will put their family through hell because they're too fucking lazy to go after what's theirs. Honestly, it made me sick to my fucking stomach. Let's do better. It's time to level up. Let's go. I was just at the gas station. I had some dude, some low level.
All right, get this guy out of here. Dude, I couldn't write that better. This homeless guy came up to my window, asked, hey, can I clean your windshield? And I said, get the fuck away from me. You know what you can clean? The jizz out of my shorts, because you see that big tatted male fucking stripper beside me? Just sucked me off. So get your little squeegee and squeegee my shorts. How does that sound? And get yourself a job out here in the oil patch. I wanted to suplex him through the concrete. I almost unloaded the grenade. That's what I almost did. I almost unloaded the grenade. I hope you're starving. I hope you're dying next time I come around here. So that way I can piss in your mouth so you can feel what hydration really feels like. Oh my God. Which brings us to our next topic. Social media is driving teen mental health crisis, Surgeon General warns. Gee, I wonder why, because lunatics are on it. You know what I mean? If you're a kid and you're watching that and you're like, this is my only option. If I do not graduate high school, I gotta fucking level up like Cole. And what do? I move to West Texas. I yell at homeless people to suck my cock. I cut my ex-wife. That's what I got to do. I got to cut my ex-wife. I don't know if he means like physically or just like metaphorically. I'm too young to understand exactly what he's trying to preach to me. But you know what? At the end of the day, I will cut anybody because I don't know what to do. Anyways, Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, a long proponent of mental health awareness, has issued a warning that social media use is a main contributor to depression, anxiety, and other problems in the nation's teenagers. The report released Tuesday calls attention to growing concerns about the effects of social media use on children and adolescents' mental health. The advisory urges policymakers and the companies that make the social media platforms to share with parents the burden of managing children's and adolescents' social media use. Isn't that nice? Yes. Listen, folks, it's a decaying society. The fabric of Canada, the fabric of America has completely depleted. And like I said, it's like, you know when you just like hold on to that blanket that you've had forever. I was one of those, I'm one of those guys, right? I don't like to buy new things. I'll just fucking whatever. I had this blanket that was on the bed. You know, it was like a duvet cover or a duvet. And the blanket was perfect, you know, like it's missing the stuffing. It was like comfy. It's all molded. I had it like just perfect. But then when you hold it up, it's like ripped. You never really notice it, right? Until you wash it and you're like, maybe I'll get a new one. But my male brain is just like, whatever, fuck it. You know, I'm living by myself. Who the hell am I trying to impress? The ladies that come over here, they don't look at the blanket and be like, well, that's a red flag. You know, that was prior to all the red flag stuff. So I was in the clear. Where was I going with this? Right. The holes in the blanket are like a representation of like where we're at in society, where we're at financially. Capitalism is crumbling underneath us, but we're all like, you know, we're like level up coal. We're just like completely ignoring all the facts and, everything that's truly happening. Instead, we're just yelling into our cell phones like lunatics and i.e. like myself, just parading these thoughts on the internet, trying to cultivate some sort of audience and monetize this content and monetize every aspect of your life because that's the only way we know how to get out of the goddamn hole that we're in, right? You know, we see it all the time. You're seeing like women now realizing that just showing your hole on the internet isn't the most, unless you're just an absolute bombshell and our shallow asses because we're men. We're just like, I wonder what it looks like, right? And we'll toss up the $5 because we're like level up coal. We're all making $1 quadrillion at a time whenever we're out rigging, or, you know, maybe you're a mechanic, or, you know, you're whatever job title you have, right? We have a little bit of excess money that we can put aside to see whatever hot girl's hole is on OnlyFans for $5.99 a month. And you're like, all right, this isn't so bad. This isn't horrible. It could be a lot worse. And social media now with the kids, right? Because we're adults. We're now just like ingrained in our ways, and we're refusing to change any sort of thought process that we have. We have no empathy for the homeless. They're just, you know, hey, this is the tough part in my little path that I'm on. This little journey is like, as you get older, you know, you're seeing your friends, they've changed their ways. We're not alcoholics anymore. You know, we're not spending our weekends in the club trying to chase down any piece of pussy. Anything that of substance in life, you know, any sort of like emotions, you know, as you get older, you're starting to understand them. When you're younger, you attempt, what the fuck? Sorry, I hate this computer because it has my phone connected to it. So now there's like phone call, and then I like look, and that's how easily distracted I am. And that's a perfect representation of like how we are, is like we go to the internet and we're like looking for any sort of substance to, like, I don't know, fill up the emptiness that we have because we feel like our lives aren't fulfilling. We have nothing to like look forward to. There's like nobody has hopes and dreams and chasing anything, or they don't have like anything exciting to look forward to. All you really have is like these influencers flashing off a fucking lifestyle that they can't even afford. You know, it's just like funded by corporations. Like, hey, Expedia needs you to promote hotels, okay? So what we're going to do is not pay you. We're just going to send you to these exotic locations, even though you don't have a pot to piss in. You live in a one-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood, but your lifestyle, we need that to look good, so that way we can convince people that they're not killing it out there, you know? That your job that you have as being a bricklayer isn't so fulfilling, and that, you know, if you could just throw your morals out the window for just a second and just see that, why live in poverty bricklaying when you can live in poverty having a corporation fund a lifestyle that's only going to last for so long until your hotness runs out or your likability online? Maybe a clip or a tweet you put out when you were 13 has the N-word in it, or you got a little, you were feeling a little something about the Jews that day. Maybe the banking system fucked you around and you decided that the guys with little circle hats, right? It's all their fault. Then they dig that up and they bury you. Now you're back to square one and you got to stock shelves at a Dollarama to try and make ends meet. That, or you got to be like Level Up Cole and you got to go find yourself a tatted, big-titted fucking woman to put in a passenger seat of whatever vehicle you can afford at that time. So that way anybody who doubted you in the past can look at it and be like, well, I guess they're kind of killing it, And we wonder why social media is ruining these kids. Is because we're just shoveling all the adolescents or the adults that are on it are all lunatics, including myself. I just sit here and I have a good time making fun of everything, but I don't think that anybody's pushing children my way to be like, listen, this is how you got to act. Okay. This is the guy that you want to be. You want to be a moron. You want to go tell dick jokes on a stage and try to get the approval of others by just being funny? Is that what you want? You want to be a little funny, ha-ha guy? You want to have a little giggle with everybody? Didn't think so. No, what you need to do, you need to get a job at the service rig out in West Texas. What else does this have? We got a little video in here. It's a little 5-minute video. But,
we have been covering mental health challenges that teens face, and we're just seeing how many teens are affected by this crisis.
Yeah, according to a startling CDC report, 42% of high schoolers have said that they feel persistently sad or hopeless. Our Morning News Now anchor Savannah Sellers is covering.
Why do you think that? Maybe the generation before these kids have failed them by planting an iPad in front of them to occupy their time while mommy and daddy can sip wine and pop prescription pills in the backyard to try and figure out if this marriage is going to last. Maybe that's why. Maybe because instead of like teaching your kids on how to deal with their emotions or how to, solve problems internally, you just planted an iPhone in front of them so that way you can get your order in at Starbucks, right? Instead of like, the kids screaming, give it the iPad. Where's the iPad? Gee, I don't know. Probably the screen time that the adults have given them this whole time that while they were raising them. And now they've reached high school and realized that there's a shallowness sitting inside me that I don't know what it is. Because my mommy and my daddy spent a majority of their time trying to figure it out instead of just, screaming at us to make us feel something. And then, not feeling the effects of a hug, And then I get into these echo chambers. I get in these echo chambers of like lunatics, like Level Up Cole screaming at me on like what success truly looks like. And it's Lamborghinis that he can't afford and doesn't own. It's money that they're never going to make because my dream entails of being a streamer, which is a saturated market. And you got to be a very extreme person to garner any sort of attention these days, like that kid in the UK who's just storming into people's houses, making wild comments about the Jewish community, which, you know what, at this point, I kind of approve. A black kid going anti-Semitic, that's the turn of the events. Kanye just like, he awoke a new generation of kids that are hilarious, by the way. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm anti-Semitic, but it is funny, a good Jew joke every now and then. Gets the people going. Gets your bank account frozen, you know what I mean? You lose $1 billion fucking dollars on a shoe deal. Isn't that crazy?
Come on, man.
I know, Boozy. I'm getting a little fucking way to rein me in anyways.
Covering this issue in a new NBC News Now special called Teens Under Pressure, Mental Health and Social Media. That is airing tonight. And Morning News Now anchor Savannah joins us now on set.
You guys are the Morning News Now anchors right now.
It is good to have you back and on such an important topic. What did you find in your reporting?
Yeah, it's so good to see you guys. Thank you so much, and so good to see you all at home. So
speed it up.
There's so much
Let's
going
go.
on with teens right now. Honestly, I think it's just harder to grow up now. If you think about social media, it's just this constant access to information. A lot of it's hurtful. It's body image issues. It's your friends hanging out without you. I heard FOMO a lot in reporting this as an issue that teens really say does impact their mental health. And then, of course, there are just the normal stresses that we all know about: the pandemic, climate change, and a big thing for a lot of these.
Yeah, when I was 13 years old, you know what I mean? The war in Iraq was happening, and I was just like locked in on newspapers, and I just felt completely empty inside, you know? A lot of the music that I listened to was politically charged, but I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. These kids just have access to the information, you know? That's what they're worried about climate change. No. Let's fucking rein it in. See, this lady looks about the same age as me. We're in our probably about 30s, right? And majority, like what, 30 to maybe 45. Let's go with that. Our generation, the way we raised kids was like the easy way. We put fucking parenting on easy mode, and it was fucking streaming the Wiggles on an iPad while mommy can fucking order a Starbucks in peace. You know, putting headphones on the kids. And then all of a sudden the algorithm got a little shifty that day and started feeding it conspiracy theories on why. Listen, Pierce, all of a sudden I look back and my kid is in the back seat watching a video why Building 7 was not reported on the day that 9/11 happened. 3 towers went down that day, Pierce. That's my Jesse Ventura fucking impression. For those that don't know, all right, anyways, so instead, me and my wife, we would go through a McDonald's drive-through so that way we could get processed food that has zero nutrients and allow our bodies to just be filled with carbohydrates and saturated fats, which we all know isn't good for the brain. And while we're trying to order this processed food, I had an issue in the back seat of my daughter screaming and kicking the back of the chair, and I was unable to understand the woman over the intercom. So I kindly told my wife, listen, hand her the iPad and put on the episode of the Wiggles that'll shut her the fuck up, so that way I can get a Big Mac with biggie size fries and a extra large Diet Coke. And lo and behold, little did we realize that once the video ran out on YouTube, the algorithm, overheard me talking earlier that morning and fed her a video of the war in Iraq. All it was war footage of ISIS members getting their heads blown off with 50 cal rifles and airstrikes from Black Hawks on civilians that, weren't even engaged in warfare. And lo and behold, apparently viewing that can cause PTSD. Do you know what PTSD is? Apparently it's post-traumatic stress disorder. And my child developed that at a small age, and now as it's grown into an adolescence, we're having a difficult time really beating the depression out of her. So now we're in high school, and they figure that their friends don't like them, and climate change is a very big issue. Get the fuck out of here. This is what I mean. Like we have become so detached from ourselves as human beings is kind of what I'm leaning towards, you know? Like we don't go outside. We don't go outside. Nobody fucks around. I see some neighborhood kids playing basketball and shit, and then you hit that age where you're like, oh, fuck that, that's gay, you know? And then you got to find something to rebel against, and then you turn Christian, because that's the new way, is rebelling against the current regime is turning religious, either Catholic or Christian, and you stand up against fucking LGBTQ plus horse shit that they're getting up to. You go out and you hand out Bibles in front of a Catholic school that doesn't do the Bible no more. In fact, like they're just like, hey, are you gay? Everybody's a little bit gay. You sure you're not gay? You say there's two genders and everybody's like, oh no, send them to the gulag. I've seen so many reports of kids just like, that's the new drawing a swastika on a binder now, is just saying that there's two genders. That's wild to me. You know what I mean? Like the edginess of a teenage boy now isn't drawing like fucking crazy symbols on your binder no more. It's just wearing a t-shirt that says there's only two genders, you know, and then you watch your liberal arts degree teacher have a mental fucking breakdown. What the fuck is this? I went to university for 6 years and I can't contain myself because an 11-year-old wore a t-shirt that says there's only two genders. And I'm having a conniption in front of the classroom, trying to get into a debate with a fucking adolescent teen, hasn't even hit puberty, but I'm screaming, I can't believe you would wear such a thing in a Catholic school. God almighty, we've lost our minds. See, it's not that the kids are, I think the kids are depressed because they look at our future. You know, like a few episodes back, we were talking about like, there's that moment when you're a kid and you look up to a certain individual because you think that they're cool, right? You know, you think that they're cool. They're always making you laugh. They're giggly. But and then it turns out that your dad's friend is just an alcoholic who's been friends with him since he was in high school and would feel bad to like kick him to the curb. You know, that's like the last ditch of like keeping this guy around because like the only thing that's holding them together is the friendship. The booze isn't really what mends it, you know, like you can have a few beers, but this guy's putting back 8 to your 1, full on piss tank, 9 DUIs, and really riding life hard, really hard. It wears it on his face, you know, like, you know, that the whiskey nose. You ever seen a guy with whiskey nose and you're like, Jesus Christ, he's put a few bottles down, hasn't he? He's had a good time in his life. And you look at that, and then once you grow a little older and you have a little understanding of like human nature and like what they're up to and what the hobby is that they like, and it just so happens to be getting pissed drunk Monday all the way through Sunday. And you think to yourself like, boy, oh boy, is this guy really killing it, right? This guy's really on top of his shit. Can't wait to be an adult, if that's what it looks like. And then as you come around, you start developing the thought like, oh, God, that, you know, I used to think that guy was cool. Come to find out he's a bit of a jackass. You know, it happens to all of us. Happens to all of us. There was always one. And now, like, these kids, that's what they're looking forward to, is like looking at the adults and what we're up to, you know. God forbid they stumble across this channel and be like, oh, that's what I can do? I can just be this guy? Oh, God. My Lord. And then they get Level Up Cole on their TikTok feed and they're like, Jesus Christ, it's getting worse. I'm sure 14-year-olds are sitting around discussing climate change as puberty's taking over and they're wondering why I can't get my dick sucked, you know? Why can't I get my dick sucked? Oh, that's right, because you got a fat wife at 14 and you got to slit her throat so that way you can get a big titted, tattooed fucking erotic model or whatever the fuck. Jesus Christ. We'll give her 15 more seconds and then we're moving on to hate mail.
These teens, they told me they actually think about every day is the possibility of a school shooting. They go to school worried about that and they have a really hard time with it. All of that sort of is culminating in that number that you said, 42% of teens saying that they feel persistently hopeless. Here's what's kind of really scary, though. Girls are faring much worse. 57% of girls say that. Same number there, persistent feelings of sadness, of hopelessness. And then the really concerning thing there is that sexual violence is spiking. So young girls are also dealing with that. They're dealing with this sort of misogynistic content that's online that they say.
There it is. They're worried. Okay, once again, where are the parents? You know what I mean? Where are the parents? The school board is clearly failing these kids, right? America, not so much a problem up here in Canada with school shootings, but I guess like down there, are they as like prominent as what the media says? And again, I have a feeling like now, because like the only source of consuming news when I was, what they're talking about as a teenager was reading a newspaper or watching the news, which I didn't do. So now, then you get to our era that we're currently sitting in, right? Now the news is constantly in your face. It's in your fucking TikTok feed. All your favorite creators are probably talking about something to do with current events. War is taking place, you know? The only time I really talked about war when I was younger was in social class, and it was about World War II, you know? So now, like, war is constantly on their mind. School shootings, are they actually, do they happen that much? But the fear porn of the media now has, like, infiltrated Instagram feeds. It's infiltrated fucking TikTok feeds. It's infiltrated, like, all aspects of media now, especially social media. So when you're constantly fed this fear, this constant feeling of fear, of course it's going to be depressing. Nobody looks at fucking, hey, know what I did last time I seen fucking war footage? I jacked off because I was horny. I seen it and I was like, boy, does that get me hot and bothered just seeing a fucking building get destroyed. I wonder how many people were inside it, you know? When 9/11 happened, I was like, I was just hitting puberty and I was rock hard. Get the fuck out of here. They wonder why, like, nobody can sit here. And it's because of extremely misogynistic content. I know that probably contradicts myself after I just sat here and made fun of some fucking dingnut or wingnut that, dingnut. Some wingnut that was just sitting here fucking, rah, you know what you gotta do. People like that end up in kids' feeds. It's Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast next challenge. All right, we're going to see who can defuse a bomb. Who can defuse a bomb the fastest? And if you can't defuse it, it's just going to blow you up. And the last man standing, we're just going to keep bringing in bombs until there's somebody that the last man standing, and we're going to give you a fucking $100 million. Anyways, let's move on to our favorite segment of the show. It is hate mail. It is hate mail time. If you got hate mail, send it into the show. What do you got? You got any fear porn for us? You got any great articles? Something making you upset? Do you have a fat wife that you want to just cut out of your life? Write on into the show about it, you know? Level Up Cole, he's going to be the next guy to make a TikTok about you. He's going to be on the hate mail and be like, you don't even know what I'm talking about. You never get it. You never will. You never have. You understand me? But yes, hate mail. If you got a piece of hate mail, write it into the show, unclehack@dangercast.tv. And we'll have ourselves a fucking grand old time reading it here for you on this show, because that's what we do. We are fear porn mongering losers like the rest of the media out there in the world. So what we want is like more people angry and writing into the show, so that way I have content, right? Something to talk about. Anyways, our first article. Hi, Uncle Hack, you fucking gearbox. Step up your game and go harder in the paint on these trannies and queers fucking up our great nation of beer drinking, hockey, and big-titted women. I walked into Walmart yesterday. Oh, wow. That was my first mistake. People wandering around fucking clueless. I felt like dropping a grenade and walking away. You should have called Level Up Cole. He has one ready. Well, I can't wait for Russia and China, obviously, to take over. At least they'll get rid of these queers and transmissions everywhere. I'll deal with a few missed meals under the commie rule if it clears out those fucks. Stop cucking yourself over Walker. He's already got you holding his pocket all over the internet. Grow up. All in all, pod is pretty good. More blue collar stories and start drinking beer again, you pansy. Like we give a fuck if you make 55 years in this life. Jesus Christ got 33 and that was good enough for him. Fuck you. Love, Fitz. Thank you very much for that article, or that nice little email, Fitz. That was very kind of you. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, May 33. I'm a Christian drinking beer drinking, tranny hating, fucking fueled machine. Hey, Hack, it's been a minute since your London show, and this has been building up inside me since. First off, where the fuck was that weasel-looking motherfucker Brett? What? He's too fucking good for London? Pissed me right the fuck off. That guy is funny as shit. The show was a blast regardless. The boys and I had an awesome time. After the show, I got a picture taken with you. Poor Sam Walker was off to the side looking like an 80s god, and I never got a picture with him. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? Just a fucking retard I am. Should have shown Sam some love. Not having my picture taken with Sam is one of my greatest life regrets. Hopefully there will be another Southern Ontario show sooner than later so I can right this wrong in my life. Keep up the good work, boys. Thank you very much. Yes, that should be a major regret on a lot of people, is not taking a picture with Sam Walker, because you never know when he's going to be in prison. You know, we're always knocking on the door of him being imprisoned. And that would be unfortunate, because then I got to find somebody else to join the troop. All right, our final piece of hate mail, ladies and gentlemen. Hey there, Uncle Hack. I just want to start off with this. I'm a faggot. Nice. I ain't gonna hide it, but I ain't your average homo. I believe in traditional family values. Clearly not. Trannies are gross, and gay pride makes no sense. Not all of us faggots follow the left. I'm very much a conservative with morals and values that do not line with the alphabet crew. I'm just saying, I love that you rip on us constantly, but just know, there are a huge number of us fags that can't stand our own, in quotations, culture. My husband of 9.5 years left me for a tranny. Oh, there's why. So I ain't gonna have anything nice to say about those freaks and listen left-leaning homos. Leave the fucking kids alone. Holy shit. Hey, round of applause for me for having a homosexual that listens to the show. That's not very often that we get something like this. Wow, I didn't really think that you guys would give a shit about listening to this type of content. But here I stand corrected. You know, homos come in all shapes, all sizes, all thought process. Isn't that something? You know what? Standing ovation to this guy. Great way to end the show. And we thank you for, you know what? First off, the fact that he's like, I'm a faggot. Just bluntly putting it out there. I am a faggot. And it's there in your face. Beautiful. Doesn't allow the word to hurt his feelings. That's what I like. It's just words don't hurt. Well, words do hurt. If you allow them, right? If you allow these things that people call you online to really hurt your feelings, then what are we doing here? What the fuck is going on? Get over yourself. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. We're depleting the planet of its resources, you know. We're over here thinking that we are the greatest species to ever fucking be created inside this universe that we don't even know how big it is. You know, every day we like to sit here and think that this system that we're under is just peachy keen, you know. Every day we got to wake up and you got to get out there and walk over a homeless guy who was a fentanyl addict who was just trying to right some goddamn wrongs. You got to tell him to suck your dick, I'll piss in your face and fuck right off. You got to get a job on the rigs. You know what I mean? Like, that's where we're sitting at these days. And so I have a difficult time, and I know I sound like some commie fucking loser right now, just being like, oh, well, capital, starting to whine about the money, but like, yay. It's not like it's fucking going so swell, isn't it? Oh, yeah, inflation's hitting. More. We got to take more of your money. Taxes are on the rise. We tell you that we're lowering taxes, but then we do a backdoor deal where we raise some other taxes. So we just kind of slowly increase how much money you can make. The price of a house has gone out of control. Good luck owning one, because we need to own them all. And you guys can just kind of be there. You know, you'll be there at our beckoning when we need somebody to go down to an Amazon warehouse and package Chinese goods and send them to other retards all across the country. That's what we need. But instead, We just blindly follow everybody. Oh, fuck, did you see that there's a new Boston Pizza up the street? Isn't that nice? Aren't we going to have a good time going to the Boston Pizza? I can't wait till the tranny serves me some chicken wings and a drag time fucking story hours while we're at that. Hey. You know what I mean? Like, it's just all this shit. Boom, boom, boom. Kids are depressed. Well, fucking fire the fuck me. Who would have known? Who would have known? They're looking at the future that the boomers have like ever so created just this utopia of sadness. It's just been trickled down, and now the great grandchildren are like, what the fuck is this? What are you handing me? I want no part of this. I don't want to work. Why the fuck do I want to build a skyscraper and break my back so some millionaire can move in and be like, listen, here's $5, smash my windshield, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like lopsided. There's so much I hate and like about it, but hey, that's where we're at. I'm just an idiot. Thanks for watching the show. Just a reminder, if you want to support, we'll give away that goddamn thing from earlier, the cooler scooter. You got a DUI, well, guess what? You can drive this to work and get and keep your beers cold at the same time. And fuck, if you're gay and you like Bud Light, fucking it fits Bud Light. It doesn't reject them. It doesn't spin them out. You can keep your Bud Light cold. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Unclehack Podcast. For our next episode, head on over to Danger Cat Shop, patreon.com/DangerCat69. Link down in the description down below. And we thank you for tuning in. Share this with your friends. Why don't you? I need 1 million views on this video or the download. Send it to every friend. Just spam them. Do me a favor, will ya?